Hello my beautiful people, you are most welcome back to yet another video. If you're new here, you are most welcome. Feel at home and don't forget to subscribe to this channel. If you're a returning subscriber, you are most welcome back. So I'll be analyzing GBPJPY here and I'll be using pure price action, of course. And I'll start off from our monthly time frame. So one thing I want to look at when I start on monthly, I want to look at the overall trend. So the first thing is the overall trend, and as you can see, price has been on an uptrend. Looking at the current price, this right here, right from 2021, price has been pumping up for some time. And then the next thing I want to do is mark up the key areas, the most important zones of interest. So the first I'll be marking is this right here, the highest point that the market could go up to. Okay, yes, right there. And in the lowest point as well, I'll be marking it as well with this order block. Okay, this particular rectangle. Okay, yes. So after that, I want to look at any other key area of importance before I could head on to the other time frames. So the other I'll be marking up is this middle one. Okay, yes, right here. And as you can see, this is another nice area to look at. So when I zoom in right here, I want to focus on this current price, what is happening. So after price pushing right from 2021 to the upside, we had this particular arm to the upside. And even if you were to draw your trend line right here, you'll see that the trend line has been respected for some time anyway, but I don't want to draw it because I don't want my chart looking messy. So reaching this particular zone that we are at, as you can see, price sort of broke out, or rather faked out, and then we had a nice retest back to this support zone. So each time a price pushes up and then sort of comes back for retest, it forms a support, and in this case we are having a support zone at that area. And as you can see, it formed a very nice rejection candle as well. Okay, this is what I'm talking about. This long wick candle is a rejection candle. Price plus this other bullish candle, they are both rejection candles. So what does it mean? It means price couldn't break past this, and it's a sign that bulls are still in control. And potentially, according to this time frame, it tells us that price could as well be able to break out from this area, and we could even be seeing more buys up to this area here. Okay, this other resistance zone, it's possible that price could retest this area as it has with this rejection, and it could potentially even come up to this area. So that's all the other things, since it is at this area, and we saw that it couldn't, it much as it broke out, it had to come back down. So it is still possible that it could still come back, retest here, and still head back down. So we are having those two instances. So the next thing we want to do is head to our smaller time frames. Let's start with our daily. So heading on to our daily, as you can see, where we have marked. So as you can see, this is where we had an overall uptrend for some time. As you can see, price was pushing up. So when it reached this zone, went up, down, up, down, up, down. Then it finally had this pump to the upside, broke out from our major resistance area. Then we had a nice pullback, okay, to the support zone again. So what actually happened after this pullback? We are having price reaching this support, forming this support, and there is no candle closing below it. Okay, below the support's blue line here, price only went up, down, up again, came a bit out of the resistance, and then it's back down here. So looking at this area, you could see that obviously there is a chart pattern that has formed. Now, one thing you should know about chart patterns is that they normally work, but it depends on how you use them, and you need to be careful as well how they work. And they always work, that's the fact, because there's no pattern that doesn't work. You just need to backtest it several times and find your edge. Okay, so marking up this area, we are having this kind of, okay, that is it. And as I told you, a good trend line should always have at least 3 touches. And as you can see, you have the first touch here, the second touch here, and then our third touch right here. So marking up this other trend line for this upper zone, as you can see, we are actually coming up with a bearish flag. And what does a bearish flag tells us? It is an indication that this price is most likely to reverse back to the downside. Okay, it's a pattern that tells you that most likely, because we have been having this pair trending up for some time, and now that we are at our resistance, we are having a chart pattern that has been formed for us, and that is the bearish flag. So it tells us that most likely this price is most likely to drop down. It's most likely to reverse to the downside. Okay, that is basically the simple interpretation of our bearish flag. And if you're to look at it, let's head back to our H4 to look at it more clearly. You'll notice that actually price broke out of this trend line. Okay, this here we had a breakout here, and then we're having price heading back up again. So normally the principle is that if you're having a bearish flag like this, we need to wait for breakout, a retest, and then a sell. Okay, that is how simple it is. That is how simple price action can be. But what you need to do is look out for more confirmations on the lower time frames before you place any trade, and that is what we are going to be looking at in this particular tutorial. Okay guys, please don't forget to subscribe to this channel if you're enjoying this video already. So when we are coming on to our H1, what do? We are going to be looking closely. And looking closely, in fact, this trade, I got into this trade down Thursday last week before the NFP. And what made me enter was this particular chart pattern that was formed. Another chart pattern was formed, okay? So this was a head and shoulder. And this is where I'm marking, okay? This particular area. Price actually came down, okay, following the breakout. This is it. Yes, so following the breakout from this trend line right here, price came and it couldn't just, there's no candle that could close below this support. We had a retracement a bit, slight one, and then we headed back down, okay, and then we formed this head at this particular point. Price went back again here, and then headed back to our support zone, and then we had up like this particular buy. So it was upon that reason that when I saw this, when I saw price making this sort of reaching this support, what I did, I had to come and enter for my buys. Okay, the way it was a 2-to-1 risk reward ratio. Okay, and much as I wasn't so comfortable with the buy because I knew I was expecting sales, but since I saw that the head and shoulder, I did what? I entered for my short-term buys, and yes, this is how it went. Yes, so okay, so the long position too. Yes, so I placed my buys right there, and I decided to risk 2-to-1. I didn't want to counter trade because I knew the overall trend was actually uptrend. So that particular sale, as you can remember, it was actually the Friday NFP. Okay, this particular sale that you're seeing here, it was as a result of NFP, and already I was out. So I entered for my buys right here, and it hit actually my take profit. So by Friday I was actually out of the trade. So this particular chart pattern when it formed there, I was like, okay, that means we could be having short-term buys. And how do we know? Because this is a head and shoulder being formed for us, and it's an indication that it's, of course, head and shoulders tell you that inverted head and shoulder, in fact, it tells you that price is potentially going to buy. But since we are having two things in mind. First of all, we are having a bearish flag that indicates that most likely the trend is going to reverse to the downside. And given the fact that we are having a major resistance zone which the price is at this particular moment, price is most likely to respect this trend line and then head back down. But since we are having a head and shoulder at this particular moment, I was like, okay, we could have price buying up to this support, up to this resistance zone. Okay, let me just go to H4. Yes, so the main key areas that you could actually obtain from this particular trade, but I didn't want to have a dirty chart. So if you can all see this area here is another key area, okay, that you cannot underestimate. Okay, another one is actually this one here, that the black line. Okay, but the first one is actually this, that the market has been respecting. So most likely, and it is actually corresponds with the middle of our order block. So most likely what I'm looking at is that price could potentially come and buy up to this blue line, okay? This right here. So after reaching this area, we could be looking at buys up to this area here. And then from this area is when you could look at selling at this particular pair. Because before you enter for your buys anyway, we should wait for a breakout from this trend line here. We need to wait for this price here to reach this right here, this price to reach here, break out, and then break out from this trend line, and then this support here, this resistance, and then we could look to buy up to this point. Or another instance is that price could just decide to come up to this area, okay? It could just come up to this area and then even just drop. All are possible. You just need to wait for the behavior of the candlesticks around here at this trend line. Look for the behavior of the candlesticks. If it are rejection, you could just head on to sell as well. But the general trend is uptrend, and since we are having a bearish flag, I am looking for a reversal at the end of the day. Long-term sales could be in play, but for now, as long as there is no candle closing below this order block, this major support that I've marked, as long as there's no candle closing below, we are going to buy. But if we have a candle closing below this particular support, then we should be selling. And when up to where shall we be selling? If we are to sell, we could be looking to sell up to let's just go to H4. We could just be looking, our sales may be coming up to this particular area, or the first, yes, the first, okay, let's just have it up to there. So you could be having our price having to come up to this, from this zone, head up to this major resistance, and then drop down here. Okay, this is it. Let me just use the par. Okay, so we could have price coming up to here. We test this resistance zone and then head back down up to that area. So guys, that's my own honest opinion about this GBPJPY. What do you think about it? Do you think it will buy or sell? Comment down below, and let's see what the pair will bring us up at the end of the day. So that's it. That's all I had for you today. If you learned something from this video, don't forget to give me a subscribe. Please subscribe, like, and comment down below. Let's learn together. And yes, thank you all for watching. See you all in the next video. Bye bye.